Welcome to the Conversation Colons podcast. I'm your host, Damien, my co-host, Jared.
Hello.
You want to take us into the brewskis of the week?
I do. My brewski of the week is a Smirnoff Ice Red, White, and Berry.
Nice.
What do you have, my friend?
I got just Smirnoff Ice. So, going classic.
Cool.
What was with the judging face?
I just can't believe you got basic bitch shit. Just ice? What's it taste like?
Lemon lime.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
Yeah, I don't
thought it
like.
was like the straight lemon one.
I don't know. I didn't like the flavors that they had. So I just grabbed normal.
I got you.
So big stuff going on.
Yeah, huge stuff.
So last week we talked about Battlefield. At the time we didn't know what it was, but Battlefield 2042 was officially announced. So I'll play some clips of it as we're talking about it. But obviously first Battlefield in 4 years since Battlefield 5. Yeah. Going back to a modern / futuristic kind of. It's called Battlefield 2042 if I didn't mention it. It will be on all consoles, including last gen, so PS4, Xbox One, PS5 series, consoles, PC, obviously. Comes out October 22nd. We'll go over the different editions real quick. So if you just buy the base $60 one, you get early access to the beta. You get a bunch of different shit, and you get to play that game October 22nd, 2021. So that's like the base release date. If you pay an extra, I don't know, $20, I think it is, for the gold edition, you get early access to it on October 15th. So
it's $89.99, so you're paying about 30 extra.
Okay. And then the Ultimate Edition is $20 more, which is $109.99, right? And you get kind of everything that the Gold Edition gives you, but you get one extra skin or a skin pack.
And you also get the digital art and digital soundtrack.
Yes. The Gold and Ultimate Edition also give you the year 1 pass, which gives you 4 new specialists, 4 battle passes, and 3 epic skin bundles. So yeah. Obviously, I'll be buying the gold edition. I want to play that as fast as possible. Origin hasn't updated and has it on there yet, which is interesting.
That is interesting.
So we'll see what it's like. So let's go into kind of the details of the game. First, starting off, there's no campaign at all. In the sense of like a single player driven story. They are doing it kind of like I don't know, Fortnite or how Call of Duty's been doing it recently, where the seasons, or like how Destiny's been doing it, the seasons give you new missions to do and that progress the story. Yeah, and it's apparently going to be taking place in the greatest refugee crisis in human history, with the United States and Russia at war. You play as a no-pat specialist who joins both sides, not fighting for a flag, but for the future of a non-patriot but for a new world, basically. So you play both sides. So a little bit futuristic. I like the take. So it has modern stuff, but they just kind of advanced it more. And they kind of took all of the gadgets of Battlefield 4 and just enhanced them, made them more techier, but gave them more abilities. So overall, the game just seems like more of Battlefield 3 specifically, and 4. So it will have 3 modes at launch. It will have All-Out Warfare, which is like a classic Battlefield. It'll have Conquest, and Breakthrough is returning. Then they have Hazard Zone, which is an all-new high-stakes gameplay or game type with strong focus on tight squad play.
Oh, yeah.
And then the third mode, built by DICE LA, hasn't been announced yet, but it will be revealed on July 22nd. and they said this is the mode that they built for longtime Battlefield fans and people who are excited for the franchise.
Dude, imagine Battlefield Zombies.
I mean, it'd be cool on those like big maps. I don't know. They'd probably have to downscale them a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
So there will be 10 specialists at launch with different skill traits and abilities. And then there will be 4 new ones every battle pass, every season, whichever they call it. Oh, they're going to be adding 1 new specialist every season. Okay.
So I want to say something because I think that last night when we were watching a lot of the stuff about Battlefield 2042's release, and you were telling Cody and I the information about the operators or the specialists. I'm sorry, I keep mixing those up. When you said that, I got flashbacks to Black Ops 4 specialists and Rainbow Six Siege operators.
Right.
And it made me fear for the game because I didn't want that for a massive online game. What I was expecting was, like when you first said it, was that we were gonna have like in a squad. I don't know how many people are gonna be in a squad, that 4 or 5, whatever. But in those squads, only one person can be each of the specialists. So like
Yeah, no.
2 people couldn't be the same person. Then I was thinking about it. I'm like, wait a minute, like you can run a whole squad of like all medics in the old games. I'm like, so this is gonna be the same thing. Like you guys kept saying it's the same thing. But I'm like, but it's they're specialists now. Like that's stupid.
Yeah.
So to clarify, they are going to be split. Like the specialist only has the ability, and I know the guns is not used on all specialists, it's fine, but like you're not forced to play as a different specialist. So if you play like the assault guy, I could also play him.
Right.
That's how it works. Okay, yeah. So
Yeah, I'll go into a heavier breakdown of the specialists when we get there.
Yeah. I just want to clarify that because I was thinking about like, God damn it, maybe that isn't as bad as I thought. So
Right.
just wanted to bring it up while we were there.
Yep. So let's get into the maps. There are 7 at launch. I'll kind of put pictures up as we go. Or actually, I'll probably put gameplay of the map because they showed them all mainly. You have Kaleidoscope, which is set in the South Korean city, and it's a pretty big map. It features enterable skyscrapers, zip lines, water combat, and this is the map with the roaming twisters. So I think there's like 3 of them in the map, or 3 of different directions at any time. Anyways, it's like Shanghai from Battlefield 4. Just there's more buildings you can go into, and there's more to do in the middle of the map. I feel like with Shanghai, everyone either went towards the big building or like I think it was D and B on that map because D was in that one building where you could fall through the roof.
And then B was the subway area, kind of
Yes.
like underground.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then kind of the middle map just sucked. So this seems like it's more focusing on the middle map with these skyscrapers being big parts, but not like the main focus. You have Manifest, which is one of the game's largest maps. You're in a container yard in Singapore, and as the match progresses, cranes will come by, pick up the containers, and move them around, so changing the map time. Then you have...
I thought the other one was the biggest one.
No, I said it's one of the largest maps.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Orbital is a medium-sized map featuring a rocket launch site in France, sorry, on the South American...
French?
Yeah, sorry. This is one of the maps that features Levolution, with the rockets taking off mid-match, but you can blow up the rockets. And I wonder how big of an explosion it's gonna make. Does it just wipe the whole map? It's like, I mean, that's a lot of fuel in a rocket.
Well, they said in the trailer that it's gonna be like it's gonna seriously affect the map. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming that there's different, like, because didn't you say, or we were talking about it, is there could be a few different outcomes to it?
It says there's multiple outcomes.
So I'm thinking that either in one outcome the fuel like ignites and it spreads out, and you've got places that are now just burning and they won't stop for a while. In some scenarios, it just won't take off. It falls over, and it's now the crash ship can be like gone through and stuff. So I'm assuming it's stuff like that.
Yeah. You have Renewal, which is set in India, and it will have some pretty unique gameplay experiences. It has a massive wall that splits the map into 2. One side being like a lush area, and on the other side being like a barren desert kind of thing. Then you have Discarded, which is another map set in India, following a drought. There's a massive ship called Colossus that hides a submarine inside, and is roughly 4 times the size of Nasher canals. So, I mean, it's probably the same size as like a base Battlefield 4 map.
Yeah.
Maybe just a little smaller. The Breakaway is the biggest map in 2042. This map takes place on a mountainside in Antarctica, and it's also the biggest map in Battlefield franchise history. So they showed that off pretty heavily in the trailer. So we'll see how that goes. What I think will be my favorite map is called Hourglass, and this takes place in a city lost in sand. It's pretty large. And a sandstorm passes through the map that will engulf the cityscape and the stadium. Not only do you have the city, but you have like the outskirts and then a giant stadium you can go into. That sounds pretty cool to me. Now, whether or not people will populate those areas, we'll wait and see.
Yeah, I agree that it looks dope. There was a guy I was watching reviews. Reviewed the trailer.
Yeah.
And he said it gave off the what the fuck, the Blade Runner 2040.
Yeah. 49 when he goes to Las Vegas.
Yeah, it gives off that kind of vibe, and I was like, holy shit! Like seeing it, like reminded me of the trailers of the Blade Runner movie. I was like, that does look dope. I don't know if it'll be my favorite, but definitely be one of my top like 2 or 3 because that looks awesome.
And so now we go into the specialist, which everyone I feel like is kind of confused about. So I'll try to break it down as best as I can. So there's 10 specialists at launch, and then there will be 4 new specialists being added as part of each season's battle pass. So in the first year of the game, you'll be getting 4 new specialists. Okay? So these take on traditional roles of Battlefield classes. Each specialist comes with an exclusive gadget or trait that defines their playstyle. Think of it like Siege, but not as that big of an impact. All the classes, all the specialists, you can use whatever primary and secondary weapon you want. What changes is your primary equipment and your secondary equipment or trait. You don't choose your specialist based on the primary weapon. You choose yours based on the role that you desire to play. So here's just some details. So like an assault specialist utilizes a grappling hook and has increased agility when aiming down sights. Support uses a support pistol to revive and heal teammates from afar. They still have med packs. Engineers deploy a turret that auto-engages enemies and vehicles, so it's a SAM turret from Black Ops 4. And they can be EMP'd. And then Recon has the Recon drone from Battlefield 4, which can also be EMP'd. So you kind of break down the specialist. So one, when you play Battlefield, a lot of the people look the same if they're running the same class. This Battlefield has apparently a lot of deep customization. There's a scene in the trailer where there's 2 characters looking up at the tornado right next to each other, and they look completely different. It turns out that's actually the same class. So that was them kind of showing, hey, this is how different it is. So just to kind of show you the difference. So let's say I'm specialist number 1 and Jared's specialist number 2. We're running the same specialist, right? We're both running the medic one, okay? I can choose my main gadget. Maybe my main gadget is like a pistol that fires a syringe at a player. But Jared's running the main gadget where it's a heal grenade. And it's a grenade that heals players in a general area. Okay? And then my trait is combat surgeon. So I revive players at full health. But Jared's trait is like it revives players faster. So they're both medic classes and have standard gadgets associated with the classes, but you're able to change and play the way you want. And support specialists obviously will still have a revive syringe, defibrillators, and medic pouches. And any specialist can use any weapon. So you don't have to use the grappling hook if you're playing assault. You can use, I'm guessing grenade launcher is like probably gonna be the second one. But a grenade launcher, and then your trait might be faster, like aim down sights, or faster aim down walking speed. And another one might be like, oh, you throw grenades farther. Like, so each specialist is going to have multiple traits, so you can kind of build a character and how you play. So if you play medic and you're like, hey, me and my squad play really close. I think it'd be beneficial to have a heal grenade that you throw at the ground and heal everyone at that point. Great. Or you can run a pistol and you can shoot people from afar and revive them. And then you run a trait that it revives them quicker or, gives them full health at revive.
So,
So,
okay, hold on. I want to just clear something up because I'm a little bit confused by this.
yeah.
So you're running primary weapon
Yeah. So,
AR-15.
AR-15.
Secondary
Yeah.
secondary could be any kind of gun, like shotgun, pistol, whatever.
Yeah.
Then you've got your 2 gear slots, which could be the pistol, you're talking about the revive pistol and
A medic
something
bag.
else, a medic bag. Then the trait is its own entire separate entity. It
It's
doesn't
like
take
a
up the gear
perk.
slots. So it's like having what's a good like it's almost like having an exotic armor from Destiny. Like it gives you something that the other classes can't have.
Right. So, like for the medic, for instance, in these two examples, one of the traits is when you revive someone, they're at full health. The other one
Mhm.
is you revive faster. So you get to pick those different traits. But then you also get to pick your main gadget, your one gadget or two gadgets, whatever they make it at the end of the game. It'll probably be one gadget. Um, and then you have your
Mm.
main primary, like an AR-15. Well, it'll be an M4, obviously, whatever.
Yeah.
And then your pistol, 1911, M9, FNX45, whatever you want it to be.
So that means that you could potentially have the assault running something like, extra grenades. So he gets like 2 or 3 extra grenades, or he can have like overkill where he has 2 primaries, like a fucking AR and a LMG, or a sniper and an LMG. Like he can have
Right.
that kind of shit
Yeah, and I'm
going.
sure like the support
That's
class
interesting.
or whatever, I forget. Yeah, support was LMGs. They might have a thing where when they drop an ammo bag, you get more ammo.
Yeah.
Or
Or like
they
deeper bags for that. Like they have personal reserves.
Yeah, or like they drop FMJ rounds, so you do more damage to vehicles. So like all these specialists will
Hmm.
have multiple traits and different ways for you to use them. So Jared, me and you might be running medic, but your medic might be completely different play style than my medic.
And yeah,
And it'll be the
that'd be
same
interesting.
thing for sniping. I mean, sniping, I'm sure there's going to be like your trait is you can hold your breath longer, or you don't get oh, I forget what they call it. When you get shot at Battlefield, you know, your screen like uh oh, what do they call it?
Bloom? No.
No, but your screen gets weird. It goes out of focus, right? You're peppered. Maybe for snipers you don't get that.
Oh my god.
And then one of the big things, obviously, is so on PC, Series X, and PS5, it is 128 players, so 64 versus 64. Now, an old gen PS4, Xbox One X, previous, it is 32 v 32. So you are losing a drastic amount of players. Um, so and I think they said they're going to downscale the maps for the old gen.
Mm.
So personally, I'll say this: I wish they would have just not released old gen ones and just focused on bringing
New gen.
bringing the best experience to uh the PC and the new consoles. So, Jared, after going through all of this, what are your thoughts?
Honestly, my thoughts are if this game is as good as I'm hoping it is, I should upgrade my PC. That's my thoughts. So I
You
could run that game and enjoy it.
don't need to.
No, I shouldn't need to, but like to get the 3090s and also just get a little bit more RAM for a game like that. I shouldn't have to. You're right, but that's if it's as good as we're hoping it's going to be, as good as it looks like. That's something that I this game would make me actually sit down and do. But overall, my thoughts are the expectations I had. I was worried that I was setting the bar way too high, and after seeing it, I feel like I was setting the bar a little bit low. It kind of blew me out of the water seeing it. I know it was just a reveal, but what was revealed was fucking awesome. And to know that they're gonna bring more in as the seasons go on, and like every year there's gonna be more content, that is fucking awesome. Um, the only thing well, I guess only two things really is one, I'm sad there's no story mode. I love the Battlefield story modes. It's one thing I've always enjoyed about playing like any of the Battlefield games I've played. That bummed me out, but if they are able to introduce the story through the multiplayer like they say they're going to, hopefully that won't be that big of a deal. Um, and I lost my train of thought for the second one, which was fuck was it? Oh, that's right. The other thing which I kind of think is a big deal is I've seen a lot of people criticizing the futuristic part of it. Um, sorry. I am personally not too worried. I would have liked to have just like a 2020, like that's like modern or current, whatever. That's what I would have liked to have. Just more like fucking fun maps, like over in the Middle East, all that fun shit. Um, but I've seen a lot of people say like, oh, like a lot of games that like go and do futuristic shit, like they don't succeed. Like take a look at Call of Duty, like it's games that took place a little bit in the future, other than Black Ops 2, like not a lot of them really landed or did very well. And so that was one of my concerns now that seeing a lot of people reacting that way is the whole fan base going to take this game and bully it into not being good, bully it into not succeeding? Um, I hope that isn't the case. I don't think that should be the case, but if that happens, that's going to piss me off because I think this game deserves a chance, especially because it looks better than the last Battlefield we got. I was going to say last two, but Battlefield 1 was a great game.
Yeah, I mean, so I know a lot of people just want a modern, but I think the issue they would have had going into modern is the whole thing of, okay, well, you've done this before, right? Like, oh, these
Mhm.
maps feel samey. These guns are the same from Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3. So basically, you're just getting like an update to like previous games.
Yeah.
So I feel like with the 2042, one, it's 100 years before 2142, which was also another Battlefield game. But second off, you have more creative. You can be more creative in what you do with weapons, in maps, in vehicles, because it's 21 years away from now. I think people got to realize, because I saw a thing where like, oh, it's too futuristic. We won't have this. We didn't have like smartphones 21 years ago. We had terrible laptops 21 years ago. We didn't have HD TVs 21 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have Blu-ray 21 years ago. Like, I think people got to realize that 21 years is a big difference, and technology advances a lot, right? And
I gotta say, comparing that like the futuristic stuff, think about this. When Black Ops 2 was posted in or set in 2025, like people weren't too upset about that. Like, but there was a lot of shit in there that was really futuristic that we probably like. I feel like we're not gonna encounter that level in this Battlefield game to some extent. I feel like some of it we will, but not all of it. So
well,
I don't
yeah,
understand
Black
the
Ops 2 had very
comparison.
futuristic like vehicles and stuff, like especially in the campaign they kind of went for it. But
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, it came out in 2012, so it was set in 2025, so you know, pretty far,
12 years.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty far to go. But even then, 21 years, like weapons, vehicles, all that shit's gonna change. And so it gives them more ways to kind of make the game new. And I think especially when we go into the weather dynamics and stuff, like having tornadoes in the map, and it's just gonna make it crazy.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're not in the map all the time and make it too crazy. But I just want Battlefield. I feel like Battlefield, since Battlefield 3 hasn't been able to like get to the craziness of Battlefield 3. Because like
Sure.
Operation Metro on Battlefield 3 was nuts. There was shit going on everywhere, and that's what I loved. I love I remember in Battlefield 3, it was a rush game, and we sat in that fucking locker room hallway for 45 minutes and no team made a push. But it was fun, like killing people, reviving, and you keep going. I don't think games understand this. The moment to moment action keeps you going. And, there's a lot of times where I would sit there and play Operation Metro for 4 hours in one game, look at the clock and go, oh shit, like, I gotta go. Like, time just flew
Mhm.
by. With these new Battlefields, they give you so much downtime that, like, you know, in Battlefield 5 especially, like there was times where it's like, oh, it's gonna take me a minute and a half to get into the battle. Like if you're coming from spawn, or like 2 minutes, and it just, I think it made the game weigh on you more. And then finally with Battlefield, they'll be showing more the gameplay reveal this Sunday during Xboxes and Bethesda's E3 press conference. And then there's no Battlefield or Battle Royale at launch. They don't have plans for it. They said they'll look at it in the future. So we will see. I think Battlefield 5, did it come out a year after like the actual game released? Because I don't think it was a
I
long.
don't remember. Dude, I remember next to nothing about Battlefield 5.
Um. Yeah. So we'll see. So
You know,
but
it's time. It is fucking time for this Battlefield game. I am sick of playing the same old boring shit COD every year. I mean, I'm ready for Battlefield to spice things up every single time I get in there.
yeah.
I like we need Battlefield. I remember playing that shit constantly. Like, yeah, we switch between Battlefield and COD all the time, but like COD was good back then. Now we've got shit COD. Like, I need a good Battlefield game. It's
Well,
time. We
yeah,
need
they
this.
can finally like. It was kind of weird because like Battlefield 3 was great for like the PC community, and COD wasn't there. And on console, COD was king, but on PC, Battlefield was king. And then 4 came out, and 4 is more widely loved on console, but it can never beat Call of Duty. And then Call of Duty Infinite Warfare came out, and Battlefield 1 dropped that trailer. And, you know, I feel like for the first time, like in that long debate, like Battlefield and Call of Duty were on equal grounds, because
Mhm.
it was a down year for Call of Duty because no one wanted jetpacks again, and it was an up year for Battlefield because it was something fresh. The problem is Battlefield 1 to us is a great game, but for most people they didn't like it.
Yeah,
And
it's because they're stupid.
right, so when Battlefield should have won, it didn't. It actually lost in sales to Infinite Warfare, which is mind-boggling.
That is. No, that absolutely is.
And then Call of Duty kind of went on this upward tick. You know, Black Ops 4, like, give it criticism where you want, it was better than Infinite Warfare. And then, you know, you went to World War II, which, whatever. I feel like most people would say, or no, was World War II first? No, Black Ops 4 was first, World War II. Whatever way it went, I don't remember. Yeah, Black Ops
World
4
War
was,
II, then Black Ops.
you sure?
Yeah, Black Ops 3, World War II, Black Ops 4.
No, Infinite Warfare was the last jetpack one. It went Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, Black Ops,
World War II.
World War II, Black Ops 4, whatever. Anyways, yes, it was Black Ops 4 after World War II.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you went to Modern Warfare, which, like, was still an up, but you could tell it was slowly falling. And then Cold War is just as good as Modern Warfare, but people were just tired of it. And Battlefield at this time should have striked, but they released Battlefield 5, which had the Infinite Warfare problem because no one wanted another World War Battlefield game. You know, people wanted a modern Battlefield game. I mean, Battlefield 4 launched in 2013. Like, it was time, you know. But here we are. 8 years later, we are finally getting a new Battlefield in semi-modern times. You know, just think, in the time GTA launched, we're going on our third Battlefield game.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that crazy? So the next big game that was kind of announced today, well, it got a release date. Elden Ring, which is the George R.R. Martin and From Software collaboration. It's Dark Souls, basically. Got a release date and a pretty decent trailer. And it comes out January 21st, 2022. And I don't play these games. I played Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2. And wanted to kill myself, to be honest with you, because of how freaking annoying they were. But I love watching people play these games. So I'll definitely watch people play Elden Ring. I do like the style of their games. It's weird. It's something different. It's just not something I'll play. And Jared, I believe you're the same way, correct?
Oh yeah.
So that's all I gotta say on Elden Ring. It looks cool. I just won't play it.
It looks like it'd be interesting, but nothing I'll play. Same
Right.
thing.
Before we get into our E3 predictions, I have a quick little story about Phil Spencer, who is obviously the head of Xbox. He threw some shade at Sony, sorry, um, about how they are releasing PC games. So Xbox or Phil Spencer came out and said that they are supporting not only Xbox but PC at the same time. And he said other companies bring console games to PC years later, not only making people buy their hardware up front, but then charging them a second time to play on PC. And of course, all our games are in our subscription service day one, full cross-platform included.
Mhm.
So basically saying, Sony's doing this way and it's bad, and we're doing it our way. Um, but speaking of Xbox, Jared, Xbox and
Yeah.
Bethesda are sharing their show. What
Yep.
are some of your predictions for this Sunday? What are some things you'd like to see?
Halo and Elder Scrolls.
Okay, what would you specifically want to see from Halo?
Just what they've been working on since they had to delay it and change it because everyone fucking whined about it. I want to see what they've done to change it, and hopefully it looks better. Elder Scrolls, I just want to see more than the fucking dun 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 and the fucking zoom in. I want to see footage of the
That's all
Elder
you
Scrolls
think
game.
that's all you think is going to happen at the show?
Oh, it's not all I think that's gonna happen, but that's what I care about.
Yeah, but what are some of your more predictions?
Uh I'm sure they're gonna give us a bunch of little games that I just can't think off the top of my head. I mean they do it every there's a bunch of smaller games that like I don't want to call them indie games, but just stuff I'm not interested in, stuff that I can't recall. I'm hoping there's something about Gears. I really, really want to see some Gears information. I doubt there will be. If anything, it'll be like a fucking 12-second teaser for something that's 3 years down the line. But Gears, I'm interested to see if there's going to be anything because a lot of people I've heard or have read are like speculating a Fallout New Vegas remake. Like a lot of people are. I don't think it's gonna happen, but it'd be interesting to see if it does. I don't think it will, but if you're hoping for that, maybe. God, I hope they finally just say that they're done with Fallout 76 and make a new Fallout game. But oh, State of Decay 3. Didn't we see that last year?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to see more about that. I want to see what the fuck they're doing with State of Decay 3. I that's really all I can think off the top of my head. What about you?
Well, I don't think we'll see Elder Scrolls at all.
Really?
No, not a single inch of gameplay, no trailer for it at all. When Todd
Really?
Howard showed it last year, or actually 2 years ago, um, when he talked about it, he said that it's far away, it's far off, like it's in
Yeah.
early pre-production. Their next game, Starfield, which is supposed to launch this year or
Oh,
early next year.
I don't even know what that is.
Remember, they showed off the trailer. It's Fallout in space. Like they didn't show any gameplay or anything like that, but they showed off like this kind of space thing. We'll watch it after this. You'll remember
I
immediately.
thought that was Outer Worlds.
No, Outer Worlds is from Obsidian, who made Fallout New Vegas in the original.
That's right.
Yeah.
My
So,
bad.
uh, here's what I will say about Bethesda. We will see a ton of Starfield. I'm guessing Machine Games is next game, who make Wolfenstein. I don't think they're making another
Oh yeah.
Wolfenstein. They'll probably be making. Oh, sorry, they're making the Indiana Jones game. So maybe we'll get to see that first like glimpse of Indiana Jones. Other than that, obviously we're gonna see a lot of Halo Infinite, whether it is more story content. I think they'll show off multiplayer too. That'll probably be a big focus because this game is supposed to release sometime later this year. I think we'll get a release date of probably November. I think Xbox will also be like launching. They'll probably tease it at the end, like a new Series X limited edition for Halo, as they always do.
Mm, yeah.
So
Which I might
hopefully,
pick up.
hopefully it looks good from all the screenshots I've been seeing and stuff from 343. It looks good. Hopefully that game's fucking great. I think the next one is Ubisoft joining Game Pass, because Ubisoft had their own thing, but it hasn't worked out. And Game Pass is the biggest gaming subscription that you can get. So what I would like to see is all their classics go over there too. So all their Splinter Cells, Assassin's Creeds, all of that. Because
Fuck yeah.
Ubisoft, they have a pretty big library, like really big library. And a lot of those games on the Ubisoft Plus Pass are great. I just don't think people experience them because it's on Ubisoft Plus. Bring it to the Xbox Game Pass, get more people into there. You also got to remember Starfield is an Xbox exclusive. So if you're on PS5 or PlayStation, either get a PC or an Xbox. Just wanted to throw that out there. Let's see. Oh, BioShock. I know they're working on one. So maybe it's time we get that BioShock 4 announcement. Because I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast. I think it was like a year ago. There was like rumors of them working on one. So
I forgot about that entirely.
Yeah, hopefully it turns out. Hopefully it's not a VR game that they were talking about like last. Yeah, like I said, Indiana Jones. I'm interested to see how that game like turns out. And then one of the ones that I had on my notes, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake.
Oh.
It could be like shown off or like a small trailer kind of going over everything. Maybe not gameplay, but maybe like a trailer.
That'd be cool.
We don't know how. I don't think we know how long they've been working on that, so it could be getting there. Call of Duty and I think Xbox are working together now, possibly. So maybe we'll see the new Call of Duty reveal there.
Do you think we'll see either Dying Light or Dead Island from this, or is that something else? I always forget.
So we'll see Dying Light. Yes, we'll see Dying Light during Xbox's press conference.
What do you think we'll get anything from Dead Island?
Dead Island and PlayStation have a partnership. Not like an exclusivity thing, but they've always had a partnership together. So I think in PlayStation's not doing anything this E3. So we'll get that probably later. God, I hope.
Yeah, it's been how many fucking years at this point? Jesus Christ.
Right. So moving on to Nintendo, they are the big ones. What are you expecting from Nintendo, Jared?
Switch, new Pokemon games, probably kind of hoping for new Mario, Kart, not Mario, Super Smash,
like a new character,
yeah, new character stuff, and what's his name? Link, Zelda games. I'm expecting something in that. Like, they gotta come out with something new at this point. Maybe a new Animal Crossing. I don't know or updates. Who knows? I'm not expecting too much more other than the new system and the new Pokemon.
Yeah,
that's really all I care about and know about.
We talked about it. Switch Pro, obviously, is going to be announced, and then I think when they show that, the next thing they will show is Breath of the Wild 2, which will come out next year, 2022.
I'm hoping.
I don't know when the Pro will be released. I'm guessing later this year, like November time, or next year with Breath of the Wild. Other than that, I have no clue about Switch, like what they're going to do. Maybe they announce a new Mario Kart game, but it sells too high for them to do that. There'll be a weird Mario game they announced there that like gets released.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know what? Mario Golf came out and no one talked about that.
Did it?
Yeah, it came out in March.
Holy shit.
And no one talked about that game. And those games are always fun. And then I
don't remember seeing anything about it.
Right. And then I think we talked about it a few weeks ago. You know, Valve's working on a handheld PC gaming console. Or PC thing. Yes. Gaming device.
Really?
So maybe that's when we see it. I don't know when they would show it off. I think PC, there's a thing called PC Showcase. It's more techie stuff. I really think that's about it. I mean, Ubisoft and EA have one. So EA, obviously, you're going to get all their sports. We'll see the new Madden. Maybe we'll see like our first. No, it's too early. I was gonna say the NCAA college football game, but they announced it last year and they said they were starting to work on it. So obviously not. Harry Potter is a PlayStation kind of deal. So I don't know if we'll see it at Xbox. Maybe more of the new Batman game. But what are some things you want from EA? You know, they still have they're still working on Star Wars games. They have a lot of sports games. They have Star Wars, maybe Battlefront 3. It's getting there.
I remember us talking a little bit about the Battlefront games a while back, and yeah, Battlefront 3, I guess I wouldn't mind seeing. Um, maybe the new Madden. That's pretty much all I'm interested in. I don't do the NBA or the NHL, any of that shit, or definitely fuck FIFA. They could stop
Yeah.
making that. Yeah, pretty much Madden. I'm excited to play Madden again. I almost loaded it up recently because we'd been playing it a lot a while back. So
Yeah.
that's
Uh,
that's definitely one.
Real quick to go back to the Xbox one, we forgot to talk about like Forza, the new Forza Motorsport.
Yeah, but it's motorsport.
Yeah, they'll
So.
definitely show it, and then Fable, made by
Oh, that's
Playground
right.
Games. Yeah, so
Shit.
they announced that 2 years ago. So I mean, they've been developing apparently for like 3 to 4 years now, so it's getting there.
So wasn't the story of that is it's a remake, but it's like re reimagined, or is it like a reimagined
Yeah, so
story? How
it's a
was that
full
again?
blown remake. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm
EA, I
excited.
mean, Skate 4, they announced it. They announced they were working on Skate 4, and with how good Tony Hawk the remastering did, I'm guessing they'll show off 8-4 eventually.
Yeah.
I'm sure Final Fantasy will get something at Square Enix. The new Spyro game, I
Oh,
forget who that's
yeah.
through. Maybe
Um,
GTA 6 teaser. Maybe
fuck, no.
it
No,
won't
no way.
happen. It won't.
No.
But yeah, I think that's all I got for E3. Like, it's a big time, like, for games. But I feel like this E3 compared to the last few that we got, like, is pretty low on the bar.
Yeah.
Um, like, I mean, considering like the last E3 we got, they were showing off new consoles. The year before that, they were showing off. Well, 2 years before that, they were showing off like the Xbox One X. They had like God of War, Last of Us Part 2, a lot of these like big staples, and we don't have that. We already have the new consoles. Um, but it'd be interesting to see if Gears shows up at Xbox. Because when did Gears 5 launch? 3 years ago?
We were on PC, so no more than 2.
Okay. Um,
No, doesn't sound right. We definitely played it on PC. I know that because it was like one of the first things we recorded. Hold on. Oops, if I could spell release right. September 6th, 2019. So it was like a few months after we got our PCs.
Jesus Christ. That game was that long ago? Hey, I have that recorded on the channel if you guys want to go watch our Gears 5 playthrough where I absolutely ripped Jared's heart out.
Yep. Gears 4 was October 11th, 2016. Gears 5, which I still can't believe like it feels so fresh. Gears 5 was so fucking good. September 6th, 2019. And then we had Gears Tactics, which was April 28th, 2020.
Oh, yeah, I forget Gears Tactic was even a thing.
I'm like struggling to remember the end of Gears 5. Like right before the heartbreak. What happened up to that? I'll have to replay that.
Maybe we'll get Witcher 4 stuff from CDPR.
Hmm. So uh because I had looked it up, I'm reading some stuff from it said IGN, but now it's not. So I guess IGN quoted a different source saying that Xbox Series X owners will not see this major Microsoft exclusive game release anytime soon. Um It seems that the next installment of the Gears of War series, which we assume will be titled Gears of War 6, won't be coming anytime soon. That was May 12th, 2020. I'm sorry, 2021.
Oh, okay.
So it was an IGN quoting someone else's.
Yeah, I wish we were getting a PlayStation event because
Yeah.
I feel like with PlayStation, one thing we give them criticism for it, but I always like knowing what's coming and
Yeah.
getting just confirmation for stuff. So like they've had a Silent Hill game in the works for, you know, a little bit here, and we're getting so many rumors about that. I just want them to fucking announce it for PlayStation 5. Like,
Yeah.
you know, maybe a new Metal Gear Solid, whatever Hideo Kojima's doing. I mean, I know today he just announced Death Stranding Director's Cut with more like content in it, but you know, Death Stranding 2, is he working on the Silent Hill game? What game is he working on? I mean, there's just a lot. I mean, God of War got delayed, so it's whatever. Spider-Man, like it's Spider-Man's supposed to release next year. Like it's time to start seeing that game. So we will see. But that's all I got this week.
Yeah, not much.
Yep.
Other than Battlefield being the big one.
Yeah, Battlefield's still on the show. So next week we'll be reacting to all the E3 stuff, including Battlefield, the Xbox events. So make sure you tune in for that. If you are on YouTube, please like, comment, share, subscribe. If you're on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, please follow, give us a like. And we will see you guys next time on the Conversation Colons podcast.
See you later, guys.